Hey everyone, one of the things that I've been saying for a while is that I think it's a high likelihood that the Social Security Administration is going to close all of their field offices. And now we have confirmation that shows us this could happen a little faster than I thought it could. In fact, there's a possibility that these field offices that are closed for the pandemic may never open again. But before we jump into this, listen, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe and hit that notifications bell. On this channel, we talk about retirement planning, but especially Social Security benefits. So if you want to stay informed about what's happening with Social Security, you got to subscribe. Okay, so let's get right into this. If you've watched me for long, you've probably seen my video where I talked about what I thought was the ultimate ambition of the Social Security Administration. Close all of their field offices. Here's a clip from that video nearly a year ago. Make no mistake, the Social Security Administration is changing how they interact with you. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they didn't end up closing all of their field offices, or at least all the field offices outside of the major population centers. So between now and then, we've had the coronavirus hit, and all the Social Security field offices were temporarily shut down. And as a result, nearly all of the administration's employees began to work from home. And now, one of the Social Security employees unions has proposed that since this forced telework experiment has worked so well, almost all field offices should be permanently closed and the teleworking should be expanded. Now, this is not some small gathering of disgruntled employees who just want to stay at home working in their pajamas all day. This is coming from the National Council of Social Security Administration Field Operations Locals. They represent nearly 29,000 Social Security employees, which makes them the largest Social Security employees union. That's half of all of the SSA employees. But more importantly, they're an affiliate of the American Federation of Government Employees, which covers 700,000 government workers. With that level of membership, this union has a loud voice, and when they speak, a lot of politicians pay really close attention. And in a letter the union sent to the Commissioner of the Social Security Administration, they make their request very clear. Teleworking should be the agency standard, with all casework that can be handled virtually required to be handled via telephone and the internet. And then, following the IRS model, a single field office should be open in every congressional district for necessary in-person meetings, trainings, etc. Now, right now, there's 435 congressional districts. If there was one field office for each district, that would mean that more than 2/3 of the field offices would be closed permanently. And maybe even more, because if you follow the IRS model, you'd only have about 300 field offices. Needless to say, that would be a massive shift in how the administration delivers their service. So it would be really nice to know how a permanent move to teleworking would work before the move was ever made. And thanks to the unplanned coronavirus telework experiment, they actually have some numbers on how this is working to use to forecast how it may work in the future. I talked to Mr. Ralph DeJulius. He's the president of that union that I was talking about, and he shared some of the data with me about how they measure their delivery of customer service. When you look at the metrics in the 5 weeks before teleworking began, before all of this shutdown happened, and then look at those same metrics in the 5 weeks after teleworking began, there is a remarkable difference. I'm going to have to admit, this is not what I would have expected, but the data is showing that claims are getting processed quicker, case backlogs are going down, and according to what I was shown, it's now easier than ever to get in touch with a Social Security technician. Now, I hear a lot about how difficult it is to get someone at the Social Security Administration on the phone, so I wanted to dive in on that piece of data just a little bit, and here's what's in that data. In the 5-week period ending on May 1st, there was a 20% increase in the number of people trying to call the SSA. Now, this makes sense. The offices are shut down, and calling them is the only way to get in touch. So you'd think that with the increased incoming calls, the wait times and busy signals would also follow with an increase, but they didn't. There was actually an 85% decline in the number of people who got a busy signal, and that's been a bad problem before. And there was a 36% increase in the number of people who were able to eventually get through to a Social Security Administration employee. Now, I don't know if this is the beginning of the end for most in-person services at the Social Security Administration, but I do think that with measurable data like this that shows increased employee efficiency and the potential to save millions of dollars in a government program that's already just a little short on money, this is coming. At some point in the future, you're probably not going to be able to just walk into your neighborhood Social Security office and get help. And as they change their approach to serving you and start moving everything online, it's going to require that you know more about the system. Now, you don't need to know everything about how Social Security works, but you do need to know the basics. It's like driving a car, right? I don't need to know the intricacies of the internal combustion engine to successfully operate my truck, but I do need to understand the basics so I can operate it safely. There's 3 resources that I have for someone to learn the basics and stay safe. The first is this YouTube channel. If you're watching this, congratulations. You've found the first resource. If you watch these videos, and some of them you'll have to watch more than once, you're going to be miles ahead of most of your peers with your Social Security knowledge. And then there's my website, socialsecurityintelligence.com. That's where it all started for me back in 2015. There's a lot of articles on there, and you can even narrow it down by topic by looking at the box in the sidebar. And if you're on a mobile device, that's going to be down at the bottom. And lastly, there's my book, Social Security Basics. You know, if you watch this channel, that I don't promote my own stuff very often, but this is a great book that's usually the top Social Security book on Amazon. And what people like about it, one of the comments that I get most often, is that I don't try to go deep and impress you with how much I know in this book. I only take the most important parts of Social Security, the parts you really need to know, and distill it down into something that's understandable and easy to follow. Now, I'm going to put a link down in the description, and I'm going to put that in the first comment as well so you can pick up your copy. And while you're down in the comments looking at that link, don't hesitate to let me know what you think about this proposal. You know, there's a lot of people who read YouTube comments as an indicator of how people are thinking. So use your best argument. Do you think offices should close? Tell me why. Should they stay open? Again, tell me why. You never know who will read it and use your opinion to help shape their thoughts and maybe even future policy. As always, thank you for watching. Thanks for your support. Have a great day.